hello, hello. What's going on tonight, everyone? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Truth? Shinjima, Chicken Fajitas, Dusto, Narwhal Overlord, Revel Dark, The Mom. Would I recommend Sylvan Advocates in Green White Sacrifice? Indeed, I would. Oh, am I way too loud? I'm sorry if I'm way too loud. Do I need to turn down? What's up, everyone? Hey. I think we should play Infect. No. I don't think we should play Infect. Please, no. Someday I'll probably do it for all of you, but sends a shiver down my spine just thinking about it. That's awesome, Dyson. I've never played any TCG games except for Magic, actually. What's up, Lingus Librarian? Thank you for the follow, someone. I just missed your name. When will I play Brain Gifts? Well, the bad news is I don't think we're going to play Brain Gifts on stream. The good news is it was so popular that we will get to play it for... What's up, Philly B? Thank you for the follow. That we'll get to play it for Mucha Brew next week. So we get the full video treatment because that was the most popular instant deck tech of the week. Santi V, I'm very sorry. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. PDG59, thank you for the follow. Awesome, dude. Well, way to be early. I appreciate the dedication. Didn't we play Spirits a couple weeks ago? So, okay, so we played Bant Spirits with Collected Company, but this deck is very different. This deck is, we did Spirits for Budget Magic, and this is essentially the upgraded version of the deck that we played for Budget Magic. So that's one thing that we've had a lot of requests for, or I've had a lot of requests for, is to do more upgraded Budget Magic decks. So I figured this was a good one because I think this is actually a decent deck when it's upgraded. How do you play Magic Online without any money? I don't know if there's a solution to that problem, in all honesty. I play decks I hate sometimes. I've played Burn for Budget Magic multiple times in different formats. I really do love Spirits. This is exactly my kind of deck. We get to flash things in, we get to counter stuff, we get to draw some cards, sort of. But anyway, this deck, so we played this on Budget Magic. If you haven't seen the Budget Magic, I'll actually throw a link to the Budget Magic where we talked about... I mean, the benefit of this deck, well, the benefit of the Budget deck is not only do you get a good Budget Modern deck, not only do you get a good Budget Modern deck, but you also get like a Tier 1 Standard deck, essentially, or one that was a Tier 1 Standard deck. We'll see what the new format looks like. And you can do some really sweet upgrades. So, will I ever play Vintage Burn on Budget Magic? Maybe? I haven't played any Vintage on Budget Magic. I think that will be tricky. What do I think of Saheeli? Saheeli, I am not impressed with. I think it's cool for against the odds, and there's some sweet combos. But I don't think as a Planeswalker you just want to jam in any deck, really. There are ways to play Magic Online that isn't extremely expensive. So, Penny Dreadful is an example. Pauper is pretty cheap. Momir, that we play on stream quite a bit, is cheap. So there's ways to play that isn't super expensive, but there's no real way to play for free. Sent a budget 8-rack deck a week or two ago and recently ended for Lingering Souls. Ooh, sweet. I like the addition of Lingering Souls. That's a good card. So, here's what we got going on deck-wise. Actually, of course... Before I get to it, gotta remind y'all, MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube. Almost forgot. If you want to see old streams, that's the place to sub. If you haven't subbed to the normal YouTube, you should do that as well. We're closing in on 50,000 subs on the YouTube, which is exciting. So if you haven't subbed there, that would be sweet as well. And of course, follow the Twitch. Also, if you're looking to, you can get a playmat. Oh, if you're looking to support the stream, you can get a playmat. So, and we got t-shirts and other stuff, so yeah, I'm excited. Blah, blah. Thank you for the follow. So this is what we got going on. I linked the Budget Magic. What we got going on here is Jay Poodle. Thank you for the follow. I think part of it is, to Paranormal Activa, is we just haven't been doing this that long. So there are planes. Everyone's saying no planes. There are 2 planes in the deck. Good ones, too. The Great Wall planes. The Bant version I've played before, so I think this will play significantly differently because there's no collected companies. It's all spirits. I think this will be more a fairies-esque deck. I do plan on playing Tezzerator because I love Tezzeret. So Geist of St. Traff, that's a card that I've seen a ton of people say, why isn't that in the deck? I'm just not impressed with it. This deck, I want to have evasive creatures. Rocket Squad, thank you for the follow. I want to have mostly evasive creatures that can get in the air, and I think that Geist would just die. We don't have good ways of pushing through our Geist. We don't really even have that much removal, just the 4 Path to Exiles. Moorland Haunt, there's only 2. I am so torn on this card. It is, in some matchups, the best card in our entire deck. It's so good. But that's only like a certain percentage. In other matchups like Burn and Infect, it's just too slow and it's not good at all. So that's the problem with the card. So I'm still at 2 right now. I don't know if that's the right number. Against like Jund and Jeskai and Mardu, it is just really good. So I don't know. Maybe I need more. Kaladesh is not out on Magic Online yet. Pedro, thank you for the follow. So we gotta wait. It releases on Magic Online in 2 weeks or so. So we gotta wait for that for Kaladesh, and we will definitely be Kaladashing as soon as that comes out. Also, no Ether Vial in this deck, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But basically, just like the budget deck, Mausoleum Wanderers, Rattle Chains, the creature base is the same, except we have a couple of Snapcasters. The upgrades, the mana base is much better. Flooded Strands, a Cavern. Whoa! Random clicking. What happened? My mouse is, like, wigging out on me. Mouse. Alright, back to where we were. So, mana base is improved with shocks and real duels and fetches. We get a couple cryptics. Oh no, there's too many cards in this deck. Oh, I loaded the wrong one. Disaster strikes all around. I have like 3 different spirit decks that are in different stages. There we go. So we have a couple cryptics. Otherwise, we get a Kira for more protection, and that's pretty much what we want going on. As far as the sideboard, we get the good white cards. Ley Lines, Stony Silences. Got a Blessed Alliance in there now. Some more counter magic. Another Ghost Quarter for Tron. Some relics for Dredge. So we'll see. What seems eh? Why only 1 Cavern? We actually want a lot of... yeah, mouse is going to get me. We actually want a lot of blue mana for our cryptics. How much is my collection worth on Magic Online? A few $1,000s. I took out the Rest in Peace when I added the Snapcasters and decided we would go with Relic as our graveyard hate since we have more control over it. So that was the idea. Rest in Peace is awesome. But so let's give this a run in a league. I've played a couple of games with it just in the 2-player queues. MMA fan, thank you for the follow. Played a couple of games in the 2-player queues, and it seemed to go pretty well. Do I play Paper Magic too? Not nearly as much as I play Magic Online, but I do. I do play Paper Magic to some extent, but I play mostly on Magic Online. And, I mean, a lot of the Magic that I play is making videos and stuff, so that naturally pushes me towards Magic Online. It's much harder to do paper content. Firemind MTG, thank you for the follow. So, how was everyone's pre-release? Did anyone open a Masterpiece? Come on, someone. We got 329 people in here. If most of you went to pre-release, odds are in favor that someone, actually more than one of you, opened a Masterpiece. So, anyone? You went to pre-release the Master Sword, or you opened Expedition? A Solemn? Sweet. A Chandra? Good open, good open. I mean, if you're not going to... Garment, thank you for the follow, and someone else whose names I missed. Chandra's is good. If you're not going to open a Masterpiece, Chandra's at the top of the list. Sculpting Steel, Flagship, and Nissa. Well, I think... I think this chat is above average at opening, so... That's cool. We're a lucky stream. Foil Nissa, nice. Best pull was Saheeli. Well, that's not bad. That's still just about pays for the entire pre-release. A stamped Gear Hulk. Ether Vial is a good one. I think that's the best one we've heard so far in the chat. Played an Abzan deck, went 3-1. Then got my 3 packs. Got the green, black, and white gear. Well, no wonder you played Abzan. I also did not make it to pre-release. Derailed Lunatic, thank you for the follow. So I also did not make it. I will likely open a box. So Kyle, hey, I'm new to MTGO. I want to know, do I need to buy the Momir avatar to play the format? If you unfamiliar, thank you for the follow. If you want to play Momir, you do have to get the avatar. You can buy it from the store with lands and everything for around $10, I think. You can also get it from bots for about the same price. So I would get it from the store personally. I think it's a little cheaper from the store, but if you would rather trade stuff and get it from a bot, that's fine too. Edreline, thank you for the follow. Alright, so we get to play first. Let's get a good hand. What's up, Steel Wolf? Ooh, we got a Moreland Haunt, got double Rattle Chains. I like this. Well, I don't know. We played Legacy for much of Brew last week, and I swear to God, I had a million, Bear, thank you for the follow. I had a million YouTube comments about how I did not double activate Phantasmagorian, so I might never play Legacy again. I swear, every single person in YouTube, I had to bring that up. And rightly so. I mean, I should have double activated Phantasmagorian. Fizzinator, thank you for the follow. Oh, the win-loss overlay says Deathcloud. Yes, yes, yes. I will fix that. Also says we're 1-3. Glad to get rid of that. We ended up what, 2-3? Any beard growing tips? It just comes naturally. I don't have any great tips for it, really. Went 6-0, opened a Mythic Angel, Saheeli's Artistry, and Confiscation Coup. Won 8 packs. Nice! That sounds like a good pre-release. Stream glitching. Oh, no. Make sure you have the video quality set to source if you can. That's one thing that usually takes care of it if you're having glitches, so try that if you are having a video problem. Serum Visions for our opponent. Ooh. Spirit Mirror. Am I really not playing more than 2 Haunts after what I said in the vids? I'm still only playing 2 Haunts. I don't know if that's right or not. Do I have an actual deck list? Yeah, if you do !deck, you can get a link to the deck list. It was interesting the first time I actually saw Mana Surge play it. I never caught it on SCG stream. The deck is interesting. I had never played one match with Manaless Dredge. before recording that league. Not a single match. So I'm sure I could have played much better. I don't have any doubt about that. Ooh, I like Cryptic. Well, Seachrome Coast, go. I'm not a big fan of Geist in this deck, actually. Let's run a Rattle Chains out there. Play an Island. Get in with Rattle Chains. This hand is shaping up nicely, actually. Now, because of Rattle Chains, which is so good, we can flash in Drogskull Captain if we get the opportunity. I don't think we're going to do it now, though. Make our opponent make the first move. Good evening, Daysake. Yes, this is not a Coco style deck. This is much more a fairy style version of Spirits. That's kind of what my, ooh, Sword of the Meek, eh? Alright, so they're playing some sort of Esper Sword combo. Let's flash in our Drogskull. Whoa! That is a lot of Cryptic commands. Well, I think we're just going to tempo our opponent out. This hand is looking to be the kind of the nuts. Yeah, Bant Spirit seems good in Standard. It's good in Modern, too. I liked Bant Spirits, but I want to try this deck. I like Fairy-style decks, and I think this looks fun. So Geist is the card that I've heard the most about. I think you want... in Geist decks, you really want to have a lot of removal to be able to force your Geist through, and I just don't think that that's this deck. Neg, thank you for the follow. I bet I missed a couple of follows. If I have, I'm sorry. AXKA, thank you for the follow. So many follows. I want to play red-white vehicles, too. Alright, so let's just go with Rattle Chains. Give our Captain Hexproof. Leave up our Spell Queller for next time. What's up, Emancy? Opponent goes with Path again. Well, all the blowouts. Sorry, opponent. We gotcha. So, exile that Path. I mean, I don't think they can just Wrath us here, because they don't have enough mana. Rattle Chains gives Drogskull Captain Hexproof. Pug, thank you for the follow. We get in for 5, and our opponent's essentially just dead. What did you think of the limited format? I heard that it was pretty good. Richard went to pre-release, and he liked the limited format, said it was slow and grindy, but that sounds good to me. I mean, they would have to... They can't really kill Spell Queller. They would have to kill Drogskull Captain to get rid of the Hexproof, and then kill Spell Queller to get back the Path to kill a Rattle Chain, so they'd need 2 removal spells there. Well, that was good. Are we playing against the instant deck tech deck of today? It might be. Arger, thank you for the follow. Or no, this isn't the Tezzerator deck. The music is loud today? Well, I have a solution for that. I don't want the music too loud, so let me get that fixed. There we go. Is that better, hopefully? Music quiet? Alright. What do you think is better for a new Magic Online user, sealed or try to build a cheap deck for Standard and try from that? I would recommend playing Constructed. It's really hard. It's really hard to come out ahead in sealed unless you're really good, but the prize support is kind of stacked against it. So I would look for a cheap Standard deck, possibly a Pauper deck, something like that, and try to use that to win your way into more prizes. Will rough drafts ever come back? Yes. Will rough drafts come back with me doing it as a weekly series? I don't know for sure about that. Will it come back, period, as a weekly series? Hopefully. And will we still have them? Yes. Like, we'll definitely have, like, a Kaladesh episode, maybe, like, a Cube episode at some point. So there will be episodes here and there. As a weekly series, though, I'm not 100% sure. For Yuna, thank you for the follow. What are we going down in this matchup? We want Stony Silences, possibly Negates. Welcome, For Yuna. Thank you for hanging out. Oh boy, gotta cut cards. Gotta cut cards soon. Let's go down a Snapcaster, a Cryptic, actually maybe Pass are just the best cut. A couple of Pass. Do they have any creatures? Alright, we'll just take out Pass. Hopefully that's fine. I think Cryptic and Snap is okay, actually. We do want counters in this matchup, I think. What's the email to send ideas for budget magic to? Saffronolive at mtggoldfish.com. Yeah, this is fine. We got a Serum Visions. Cavern is probably relevant in this matchup and Remand Cycles, so I think this is fine. I think this deck is actually going to have Wraths, though. Mike Spade, thank you for the follow. Is this deck viable or against the odds more likely? I think this deck is viable. We've seen Spirit decks doing well. We've seen Esper, we've seen Bant. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a good Jeskai Spirits deck. We played Slivers Burning Pyre a long time ago. 5-color Slivers. But I would be fine with playing it again. It was really popular, and it was pretty fun to play. Oh, man. Turn 1 Ghost Quarter is usually a bad sign for the opponent. Let's just Island and Serum Visions. But no, I think this has potential. Wow! Alright, we are on the mana plan. Lands to the bottom. I'm not a huge fan of Vial in this deck. Vial and Geist of St. Traft are the... Wow, even more lands. Are the two cards that I've had the most people ask about. With Vial, I think that I would rather just play more real cards. Like, I don't think cheating on mana is that important in this deck. Our stuff is cheap. And has Flash, so I'm just not that... I don't know, excited for Vial. And as far as Geist, I think it just dies too easily. I want more evasive threats. We don't have enough removal to really force through a Geist of St. Traft, like a more controlling deck. I am super, super excited to see Geist of St. Traft leave Standard. Oh my goodness. That card. It basically became the Siege Rhino / Rally the Ancestors of its time. Worse than Rally. I mean, Rally was really good, but typically Mana Screw beats Mana Flood. Because that means your opponent has a handful of action. And sooner or later you're going to draw lands, because your deck's like a third or even a half lands, or almost a half. So most often, Mana Screw is a better place to be than Mana Flood. Obviously, it depends on the game. There's sometimes where you get mana screwed and you just literally don't ever draw your third land or whatever. I've won games at FNM with Black Blue Zombies. Every FNM sends Eldritch Moon. Sweet. Yeah, I think that Black Blue Zombies is an interesting deck. I'm a little scared of Liliana still. Liliana is a very good card against it. Oh my goodness. Magic Online. Well, more lands. That's true, but if you think about it, our opponent, since they haven't been playing lands, we know they have 6 spells in their hand, when right now we have a single spell, so we know they have a lot more action than we do. I mean, Geist would have been good in this game. That's... wow. Our opponent has Serum Visions. Or Seaman Visions. Ooh, that art. Another Ghost Quarter. Alright, crack Flooded Strand, get a Hallowed Fountain. Come on, real cards. Alright, Rattle Chains is kind of a real card. Play a Cavern on Spirit. Can use it to protect our Drogskull Captain. I won a pre-release match where I mulled to 4. Woo! That's pretty impressive. Why do I play my Painlands first? So I was playing my fetch lands first because we were super flooded. And I basically just wanted to get an additional land out of my deck. Bamzing, thank you for the follow. Really? Oh no. Alright, well, Lingering Souls is not a card we really want to play against. Another Remand. I think we're actually just going to attack here. If they want to trade off, that's fine. Opponent takes it. Let's play a Moorland Haunt, pass the turn. So basically, we're just trying to thin our deck slightly. Yeah, I mean, technically they call them fetch lands, but I know what you meant. They were causing us pain when we sacrificed them. What's our opponent have here with, oh, Sword of the Meek. Okay, I guess we gotta let that go. Drawing a Stony Silence would be nice. We actually don't even have paths in anymore, so we're kind of gonna be slightly stonewalled by these spirits. Will Invention Mana Vaults hold their value? I think prices will go down a bit, most likely, but I don't expect a major crash from the expeditions. Gnarlfist, thank you for the follow. So our opponent, whoa, just double Sword of the Meek? Alright. Well, I think we're just going to run a Rattle Chains out there and keep attacking. I think we need to be aggressive here. It's nice to leave it up for protection, but I think this is more important. Well, alright. Serum Visions. Hopefully into some action. Ooh, wow. Wow, wow. Okay. So I think we leave Cryptic on top because we can counter and then play Drogskull Captain. We're in game 1, but it's going good so far. Mega Blaster. No Stormcrows in this deck. Strumbalocious, thank you for the follow. So let's put Cryptic on top and Drogskull on top. Play a Glacial Fortress. Attack with Rattle Chains. If our opponent wants to trade both their spirits for our Rattle Chains with a Moorland Haunt on the battlefield, we can deal with that. Alright, sure. They might just be trying to set up the sword combo, which would be pretty good. What I'm hoping for is Remand. Well, with them double blocking, it's off the table, but I was setting it up so we could Remand, draw the Drogskull Captain, flash in the Drogskull Captain, and then we essentially have a lock because both creatures have hexproof, and it becomes really difficult for our opponent to deal with it. This is an upgraded version of the budget deck, so a non-budget version of the budget deck. Hopefully our opponent, if they have, if they can play Thopter Foundry with another Spell Snare, we could be in trouble. Yeah, we can still Remand into Cryptic next turn. We have the Drogskull Captain on top and the Cryptic underneath it, but we could Remand, draw the Cryptic. What's up, Stitches? Welcome. Strikes me that this mana base folds to Blood Moon. Oh, we have 3 islands and 2 plains. So if we were expecting Blood Moon, we would spend our fetch lands to get basics instead of our dual lands. So I think we're all right. Thank you for the follow. Oh, someone whose name I missed. We will play Tezzerator. There is no doubt that we will play it, just not tonight. All right. Well, there's Thopter Foundry. So let's remand. Opponent passes. We make a 1/1 with Moorland Haunt. One, two, three, four, five, six. We can't quite just win here. So let's attack with both. I think we just attack with both. Ooh, our opponent's going to do something? Oh, Thirst. All right, they can Thirst. Actually, this week's Sunday videos are not Tezzerator. Tezzerator would be up for the following week's Sunday videos. I don't think Donovan Bane would fit in this deck. Standard blue-white, though. I'm down for that. Yeah, you can find the list for Tezzerator on the Goldfish YouTube. Jeez, our opponent's at 7. We can put them to 1. Well, maybe we just flash this in and put our opponent to 1. Oh, we don't. Never mind. We can't do that. We'd have to play Rattle Chains first, and that's a bad idea. If we don't play it for the videos, it will definitely be on stream. So one way or another, we're going to play it. Yes, it's not Donovan. It's Dovin. Oh, Donovan Bane. Whoa! Green Gearhulk and Mana Crypt Masterpiece. That is about as good. I think Philharmonica is still my favorite. Philharmonica. Ojutai's Command I had as a one-of. It's like right on the fringe going in and out of this deck. I really like it, but it's right on the border of being good enough. I can't wait to make Kaladesh content. I wish it was quicker. Do we win through the combo? I don't know if we really do. Yeah, I guess we can tap bounce. Opponent, Watery Grave. Yeah, so if our opponent combos, we would be able to bounce Thopter Foundry, tap all the creatures, and then they'd have to do it in response, and then the creatures would go away, I think. Philip J. Harmonica. You opened a Nissa, a Donovan, and a Mana Vault? Nice. Oh, you got a whole case to open. I'm definitely going to crack a box. Oh, man. I can't tell you what the combo is, but I know it is 100% the most mana we've ever made on Against the Odds. So let's Rattle Chains. Targeting our Drog Skull Captain. And then flash in another Drog Skull Captain, uncounterably. Elmer Blue, no Nykthos involved. Oh, welcome, Wedger, another Seth. Seths all around. Ooh, and a Spell Queller. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just Hallowed Fountain. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess that plays around Spell Pierce. Go to combat. Swing with everything. Now, I'm assuming our opponent's going to make a ton of tokens. Then we're going to wait till they're tapped out. Then we will just tap down their tokens and win the game. That's true. Rattle Chains is like Ether Vial on a stick. And we even have Spell Queller back up, so I'm very sure that we win here. This is a remix of a song by The National. By Weisiger. The song command worked last time somehow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We do tap and bounce. So tap all creatures our opponent controls. Or, yeah. And bounce Thopter Assembly. Or Thopter Foundry. Not Assembly. Yeah, vehicle seems sweet. Yeah, it's pretty cheap to put together. If you have standard fairies, or if you get this, you can, or fairies, spirits. Agent Orange, thank you for the follow. Would I be willing to reproduce with you to save the human race? I guess if the human race was in danger, potentially. That is normally how we do the song Command White Rabbit. They're like, hey, what's the song? I'm like, oh, let me look. Has Caleb been playing Blue-White Fairies? Or, I keep saying fairies. Oh, Blue-White Spirits? Well, 1-0. I know Caleb's been playing the Bant Collected Company Spirits. I played that deck in one league. We actually 5-0'd a league with that deck. Pluto was a planet. Thank you for the follow. I see the song command. This is Tesseraction by Weisiger. Alright, on to round 2. Oh, a cold. That's no fun. Well, hopefully you feel better soon, Adabes. Oh, yeah, so you're not going to want to win. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow's Against the Odds. Don't miss it. Oh, the card was Braid of Fire, and Braid of Fire has to be one of the hardest cards to build around. It's just ridiculously hard to build around. But I think we ended up in a really good place, so I'm excited for that. Any word on Twitch subs? Not yet. We reapplied for partnership. Have not heard back yet. Hopefully soon. Braid of Fire is this weird... No, Braid. Let's see. It's this weird enchantment. Dahmer, thank you for the follow. Cumulative upkeep. I'm doing well, Super Originality. How are you doing tonight? We're waiting for round 2. I don't think this deck can support Geist very easily. We don't have enough ways to push through the damage, so it would mostly just be a 2-2 that would get blocked by everything. So that's what we're trying to avoid. Oh, well, thank you, Valupi. Out of the 710 people in the chat, I pick you too. Farmer, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good about it this time. Toxic Flames, thank you for the follow. Do I prefer Blue-White Spirits or Bant Spirits? So I played the Bant Spirit deck. It was really sweet. I also really enjoy this deck. I'm sorry, the third tail. I also played... I lost track of my of my thoughts. All right, so we played Bant Spirits. I really enjoyed it. It was very good. Then we played this deck. I really enjoyed it. It's really good. So I'm really happy overall with both of these decks, and I think they're very different. So we have instant speed fireballs. Actually, were my first thought, but that is not where we ended up. Primarily, the way we ended up is the way we ended up is way better than instant speed fireballs, I believe. Have I ever heard this song? It's something about your girl by Icefish. I will have to try to look it up. So I think both of these decks occupy different spaces. What's up, Mike Worst? Nope, we're not storming either. We're playing against the odds. Gotta be jankier than Storm. Storm isn't that janky. Alright, I like this hand. We get a Serum Visions to hopefully find a 2-drop. Velupi, I believe I did see your Reddit message. Unfortunately, Braid only makes red mana, so it's not that good. And remember, it's on your upkeep, but it only makes red mana, which means it's very hard to... Ooh, okay. Alright. We'll keep both of these on top. We'll draw Rattle Chains next turn. Wallix, thank you for the follow. So, setting up for some spirits for the future. Just watch it, you're gonna like it. It's pretty sweet. No, I didn't... It's not Grixis Control. There's actually, when I was researching Braid of Fire, Patrick Chapin, the innovator, one of the greatest deck builders of all time, actually built a serious Grixis deck that was playing Braids of Fire, like years ago, 2011, I think, for Modern, when Modern first started. So that was interesting to find out that that was actually a thing. This will be an interesting matchup. I don't know how we line up against a super aggressive deck. We don't have that much removal. Like, if this is the Lord, that puts us in a rough spot. What do I think of the Intervention Pack Spike? It's a Thalia? Alright, sure. I think we're just going to trade with this champion, actually, with Rattle Chains. That might sound weird, but I think we need to just get this champion off the battlefield. I really like Rattle Chains, but I also like the Great Wall Plains. So our opponent probably did not expect Rattle Chains. Can you not hear the music now? We got music troubles all the time. Too loud, can't hear it. I turned it down because I heard it was too loud, so it's back up a little bit now. So, Champion of the Parish, down. I don't know if... Maybe that's because of me. I don't know for sure. So let's Glacial Fortress and pass the turn. So our idea here is we can Spell Quell or something, and then next turn, Kira plus Mausoleum Wander for protection, then one more lands... And we can have Cryptic up. Oh, here it is. Boom. Oh, this is Thalia Tribal. Alright, so, yeah, we will Spell Queller that. Such a good card. And then Kira is just going to lock down removal. Thanks, Wedger. The mispronunciation video was fun. I'm glad we made it. Ooh, and there's a Moorland Haunt, too? So, Plains. Yeah, this hand is shaping up very nicely. Kira. Mausoleum Wanderer. And I think we actually start attacking here. Jay Zoller, did you use that Braid of Fire and all that mana to win with Helix Pinnacle? There's not many Helix Pinnacles in the deck. I'll say that. Did I play a pre-release event this weekend? And if so, what do you think of the set now that you played it? I did not make it to a pre-release, unfortunately. Why not Moorland Haunt to get around him playing another Thalia next turn? Could have done that. That is a reasonable point. Luckily, did not get punished. So let's swing with everything. Put our opponent down to 10. And seems like we're easily winning this race. One of the sweet tricks with this deck, so Mausoleum Wanderer gets pumped whenever a spirit enters the battlefield. So Moorland Haunt makes a spirit, so it's a way you can pump up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, we are so close to just winning. We're not going to counter that, though. Galactic Toad, thank you for the follow. The mispronunciation video is on the MTG Goldfish YouTube. Ooh, Thalia's Lieutenant? Alright, let's, counter draw. The Knight deck was interesting. I don't know if that deck can actually work. The curve is questionable, but it could be fun to try out. This should seal it up. What's up, D-Many? Well, teaching your friend to play Magic is a good reason to miss the start of the stream. So far, we're playing non-budget Blue-White Spirits, and we've been kind of killing it. We're 1-0 and up a game here in round 2. Lawrence, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Against Odds Phonics. That was the official title. This is Modern. It looks a lot like a standard deck, though. So we don't have a great sideboard for aggro, unfortunately. So Blessed Alliance comes in. Stony Silence, Eidolon. This might be a hard matchup for us, really. Like, some of our cards match up pretty well, but I don't know if overall this is a great matchup. We're hoping for like Path, Snapcaster Path. That's probably one of our best openers. Yeah, the Knight deck is a cool budget deck. Pizza Party USA, what's up? I'm doing well. I really love playing this Spirits deck. It's just a lot of fun to play. Oh man, Cryptic Command in Standard. I wish. That would be so sweet. I was really hoping when we saw Escalate that we would get some sort of Cryptic-esque Escalate spell. Ojutai's Command is somewhat similar. There's a big difference between countering a creature spell and countering a spell, but Ojutai's Command is actually good. How is this Spirits deck compared to Merfolk? So, there are benefits over Merfolk. Merfolk, their benefit is they just get to stack lords like crazy. Our benefit is our creatures are evasive, and our deck is much, much more disruptive. We get counters, we get spell quellers, we get rattle chains, we get selfless spirit, so we're much more resilient and disruptive. But as far as just who's going to kill you faster, it's likely Merfolk. They can just stack lords in a way that we really can't. Cup Osef, but I think our deck is... Cup Osef, well, welcome. I think that we're much better against some decks, like control-y decks where our opponent could potentially Wrath and stuff like that. I think we're way better off than a Merfolk deck. Against more aggressive decks, I think Merfolk might have the edge because they can just make bigger creatures and kill faster. But we'll see. This is a good... We might need to chain together Cryptics. I'm just going to go down to Serum Visions. Only one Kira because it's legendary and because Drog Skull Captain is kind of a Kira. It does something similar. Spirits all around this week, Baron Von Punchy. People want to see the non-budget version, so we get a chance to do it. I don't think it's really $12. Like, I don't think that price can stick, but it is kind of crazy. Equinox, thank you for the follow. There's Champion of the Parish for our opponent. Gonna be a problem. Ooh, never mind. Is not going to be a problem, because we drew a Path to Exile. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have Thalia here. I think the lands are correct, except it is -1 island plus 1... -1 island, +1 Cavern of Souls. I added that at the last minute, so I don't think that made it onto the list. Mayor of Avbruck. I think we're going to still kill Champion, actually. I think we can keep Mare from flipping with all of our flash creatures, potentially. Let's crack Blue to Delta. Champion just gets so big that we really need to kill it. Get a Hallowed Fountain. Path Champion. Alright, so untap. Not a land. Well, let's play a land. We don't want this thing to flip, so let's just run out a Selfless Spirit. If our opponent tries to pass and flip, we might be able to unflip if we draw a land with like Rattlechains, Mausoleum Wander. Fountain, Mountain, Titan. That's just how I talk. No attacks. Our opponent flips. Come on, land. Land would be a big draw here. Alright, there we go. So now we get to play a Mausoleum Wanderer. Play a Rattlechains. Punish our opponent for skipping their turn to try to flip their lord. Thank you for the follow, someone. Might as well give Selfless Spirit Hexproof. Thoughts on the 5-color human deck? It's pretty spicy. Flying, thank you for the follow. Is this path time? If our opponent passed, we're going to let them do it. We're not going to sack. We're actually fine with getting a land here. I actually almost hope they path. So since we played 2 spells, Howlpack Alpha is going to flip back around. And if our opponent wants to skip another turn to flip it, then that is fine with us. We're getting ahead in this race. Party, thank you for the follow. Alright, there's the path on our Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll still let that go. Take an island. So we have Cryptic Mana. Having Cryptic Mana is pretty helpful. No, this is the non-budget build. This is not the budget build. It's very similar, especially the creature base, but it is not budget. I actually want the land there. I would rather have yeah, sacking the Wanderer there would be a disaster on all fronts. Opponent passes. Well, they're just all in on this Mare. Spell Queller. Alright, let's get in with our flyers. We're just going to have to fly over the Mare for the win, I think, is our plan. What is this? Blessed Alliance, maybe? Blessed Alliance. Well, let's just counter bounce. Counter target spell. Bounce Howlpack Alpha. I think this is fine. Unless we get Mana Tithe, then it's not fine. No. You gotta be kidding me. Not a Mana... Okay, Path. Alright, Path is annoying, but it's not Mana Tithe, so whatever. We get an island. This is fine. Like, our opponent's putting up a good fight, but I don't think it's gonna matter. We bounce their Lord. It's going to be hard for them to flip it again. How excited am I for Metallurgic Summonings? Yeah, I am super excited for that card. I actually put in my brewing article this weekend, I actually wrote about it. I'm really excited for it in Standard. I think there can be a deck built around it. We've gotten Mana Tithe so much lately, I'm kind of just like gun shy about Mana Tithe. So Glacial Fortress. Get in with Selfless Spirit. And I think we just have to play a Rattlechain so the Mare doesn't flip. Opponent's down to 11. We have a Spell Queller, though, which should be good. Wow. Not only good, but great. So we can do Spell Queller Collected Company. Man, it's like Standard. and our opponent scooped it up. Oh, exactly like Standard. Not only is the deck mostly legal in Standard, but Spell Queller your Collected Company. Standard through and through. Hayoshi, thank you for the follow. Oh, alright. Well, on to 2-0. Playing Standard and Modern. Haven't dropped a game yet with Blue-White Spirits. So far, so good for this deck. And it's fun to play. The 5-0 Dream is alive and well. If there's salt, I show it, but our opponent didn't say anything. When does Battle for Zendikar rotate? So, Battle for Zendikar does not rotate until the first set of Amonkhet blocks, so March, April, sometime in the spring. Dragons of Tarkir and Magic Origins rotate in like 3 days. What do I think of adding Pien Alar to the green-white sack deck? It could work. It would be less budget because you'd have to find a way to play a red card, so you'd have to change the mana base. Ben, thank you for the follow. Freehopper, I love Magic because of the randomness. Like, occasionally it's frustrating, but I think that's what makes Magic great. That's why I get scared when I hear people that are like, oh, we want it to be, I wish like Magic was more like Hearthstone, or where you make your land drop every turn or had less variance. I think that the variance is what keeps me coming back to Magic, because games play out differently, and it just, even if you played a deck 100 times, you're likely to have something new happen, which really appeals to me. So, Flooded Strand, correct. Get an island. And, what's our plan here? Mausoleum Wanderer and then Serum Visions next turn? Yeah, I think that's fine. Good call with selling your Cocos 3 months ago. Temple Garden, Noble Hierarch. See what we draw here. Yeah, that's easy. So, Serum Visions. We need to find a land for next turn. Now, you drew a land. Wow. Alright, well, let's put Mausoleum Wanderer on top and Path on top. Play Glacial Fortress. Play Mausoleum Wanderer. We have Mausoleum Wanderer aggro. I'm feeling good about our odds, Alex, for putting up a good record with this deck. I really like this deck. So this might be Bant Company? Mausoleum Wanderer. Ooh, alright. Knight of the Reliquary. Well, Glacial Fortress. Are we worried about dying next turn? Probably not. Let's get in with our Mausoleum Wanderers. Put our opponent down to 12. And pass the turn. Just leave up our mana. Nightfall is a good deck. We played Nightfall not long ago. Opponent passes. Alright, let's just path the knight to get rid of it. Kind of frustrating to give our opponent a land here, but... Oh, our opponent has a Spell Queller. That's annoying. Alright. Pass the turn. We need a land for this Cryptic now. Cryptic Bounce Spell Queller, I think is what we're looking for. We're not really in danger of getting comboed off yet, because we can counter something. Alright. Let's Spell Queller that. Man, if we draw a land here, it's so good for us. Land lets us bounce Spell Queller with Cryptic, get back our path. Oh, alright, Serum Visions. Bottom and top. Mausoleum Wander. Pumps up our stuff. I guess we're in some risk of just dying here if our opponent literally has the combo this turn. But there's not much we could do about that after Spell Quellering the Courser. This is the Bant... Oh, they really have it? Wow! Alright. If they had mana up, they... No, they couldn't recast it countering the Cryptic. Well, that's really unfortunate. So now we are likely dead. Cracks Woodslip Teeth. Jeez. Gets a Plains. Untaps Noble Hierarch. Yeah, we'll let him play it out for a minute. Sacks a land. Gets a Misty. They just win with the Knight. Cracks Misty. That's unfortunate, because if they're playing Eli's list, Retreat to Koralhelm's only a 2 of. So that they had exactly that in their hand was pretty bad. Do you have one of, like, 2 Spell Quellers into Retreat? Gets another fetch land. Untaps the Knight. Cracks it. Down to 9. We should be dead here. They've gone through, what, 3 fetch lands? They should have enough to kill us. Collected Company. We can't really counter it because they could just make more mana. They get another Knight and a Forest. So now as they combo off, they get to gain life from Courser. Well, eventually they're going to tap down our blockers with the tap or untap mode. So that's what's going to happen sooner or later. But I mean, they have essentially not infinite mana, but they have mana for equal to the number of lands they control, basically. Because they can always just tap, sack with Knight, get another untap land, so there was no way we'd really be able to counter it there. Follow, thank you for the follow. So the new, what is it, Frontiers? Is that what they're calling it? It doesn't really appeal to me. I think if new players are interested in it and want to try it and can use their standard cards for longer, that's a good thing, but it doesn't really appeal to me as a format. The card pool seems very small. I would be more interested if it started at Shards of Alara, for example, or if it started at Zendikar, somewhere in that range. Like, that format would be interesting to me. Another Collected Company. Okay. Scavenging Ooze. And a Birds. Flooded Strand on top. Usually when they go to this combo, they're just going to win, though. Like, Splendid Reclamation is sweet, but this deck, I don't know if I've very often seen it not win the turn that it goes through this loop. Like, we probably could have scooped a while ago. Apparently, they're not going to win this time, though. Interesting. So they attack with Knight. Do we have any way of winning? Not really. Well, we're not dead. Well, what's our opponent doing now? Pumps up their Ooze. Gains a life. Passes a turn. We get a Flooded Strand. And I guess we just gotta pass the turn? Attacking doesn't really do anything. Starting with Masks isn't that different than Modern, though, is it? So how do we win this game? Do we have any chance of winning this game? Or are we just at, like, Cryptic, tap down everything, attack with everything, hope that we draw another Cryptic or something? Is that the point we're at? Well, we can do that next turn. I think we'll pass and tap everything down, and then next turn we can do the hexproof thing if we need to. Opponent has a Path. Well, that's good to know about. Path actually gets around the hexproof. So we'll wait till the beginning of combat, see if our opponent does anything else here. That is true. Our last Wanderer would do it. Oh, there's a land. All right. So now it wouldn't do it. Courser gains our opponent a life. They're going to tap our Spell Queller. Sure. Hopefully their last card is not a counter. Crack Flooded Strand. Get an island. And I think we just got to tap draw. Tap all our opponent's creatures, draw a card. We only have 2 Cryptics in our deck, though. And that Path on top means... Do they really have a 3rd Collected Company in hand? Oh my goodness. Oh, what a hand for our opponent. 3 Collected Companies in their opener. Oh my goodness. Do they hit a Queller is the question. If they hit a Queller, we are essentially dead. Voice. Oh, of. Well, that's just a super good hand for our opponent. So, all right. Can't do much about Infinite Combo and Triple Cryptic Command. Or Triple Collected Company. That's just a really above average draw. So, alright. I don't even think this is necessarily a bad matchup, in all honesty. Alright, so what are we doing here? Yeah, if you draw 3 Collected Companies, you should be in pretty good shape. how do we fight this deck? Leyline does nothing. Relic seems reasonable to keep the knights under control. Negates, maybe? Disenchant, not relevant. Stony Silence, not relevant. I'm not even excited for Blessed Alliance, really. They have too many creatures for it to be good. Plus, they have 4 Voice of Resurgence, so interacting with instants isn't always great. Dispel, I can see an argument for, unless we just want Negate over Dispel, since Negate hits Retreat to Coralhelm, along with... I guess Disenchant does hit the combo piece. I think that's all it hits, though. I don't think they usually cast that many spells, or, like, they don't need to. I'm surprised our opponent didn't just win. I don't know why they didn't just go all in. If we're going to fight over Disenchant, I'm tempted to fight over it with Negate. Byron Bra, thank you for the follow. And welcome. So, that's true. It does hit Courser. I think Courser is like a 1 or 2 of as well, though. Like, I don't know. I don't know what list they're playing, I guess. The list we played a couple weeks ago, Retreat was like a 2 of, Courser was a 1 or a 2 of, I don't remember. So there wasn't like a ton of enchantments. What are we going down? Possibly Kira? Well, no, we might need Kira. That does help fight the combo. Path, Mausoleum Wanderer. I guess a Snapcaster and a Selfless Spirit, something like that. Bring in the relics. And I guess bring in a Negate over one more Selfless Spirit. Try it like that. Do I think Crew makes Inspired not as garbage? I mean, if it was in Standard, probably. Or if you're trying to build a deck in Commander or something, but... I mean, it makes it better, but I don't... Cup of Self, well, see you in a minute. I don't think it makes it Modern playable better. Edge, thank you for the follow. We get to play first, and... Alright, this is a pretty solid hand. Wanderer, Serum Visions, Relic, Path. This is about what we're looking for. Oh, my Dredge play, people. Oh, people love my Dredge play. So many comments. Ricardito, I don't think I can lend you an entire deck for the Mox, unfortunately. Elvin Metal, thank you for the follow. I mean, if you want, send me an email and I'll talk to you, but I don't think I really have the ability to loan out an entire Modern playable deck. I'm just not a huge fan of Geist in this deck, really. Let's just Glacial Fortress, Selfless Spirit, go a little aggro. We got a Path in case they play a Knight. Pump up our Mausoleum Wanderer. I don't think anything too bad can happen this turn. Vane Gretzky, thank you for the follow. Geist is a spirit. El Weirdo, thank you, thank ya. So opponent's down to 17. See what they got this turn. What's up, Demonics? So far our league's going well. Ilum, something like that. Thank you for the follow as well. SaffronOlive at mtggoldfish.com is my email. Alright, there's the Knight. So we're just going to kill the Knight. Ooh, and a Hallowed Fountain. Well, Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Let's Serum Visions. Ooh, another Path. Spell Queller. So, Spell Queller on top, Island on top. Then we Path the Knight. This match is looking much better. Oh, well, thank you, Eon Blackcraft. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Relic, get rid of these lands to keep the knight from being big. And so we have mana for Cryptic next turn, and we have another path, and we have a Spell Queller we're going to draw the following turn. Have I ever thought about playing Living End? Oh, it's Saffron Olive at mtggoldfish.com. Ace, your first law school midterm? Congrats. There's a chance we play Momir. We'll see what time we wrap up this league. We're about halfway through, so we might have time for a game of Momir. Voice of Resurgence and Qasali Pridemage for our opponent. Crax Misty Rainforest. Are they going to kill our Relic? Is that the plan? Voice is annoying. Alright, they kill our Relic. Make it a little punishing to play things on their turn. Now let's play an island. Get in with our flyers. Pass the turn. I still plan on doing a Legacy Cube stream, but I don't think we'll have time to do a whole Legacy Cube tonight. What's up, Annihilator? It's going well. Retreat to Coral Helm, sure. Not really good unless our opponent's comboing off. And we kind of have a Knight of the Reliquary covered. Our opponent's down to 8, so we're really not that far away from just winning. Untaps their birds. Gets in 4-2. We're drawing a Spell Queller here. So let's attack with both. Put our opponent down to... Opponent's going to path. Alright, decision points. We flash in Spell Queller, get rid of path. Oh, that's probably the right play. Spell Queller? Can our opponent Spell Queller or Spell Queller? Looks like our opponent is going to Spell Queller back our Spell Queller. I think this works out, though. They're going to untap their birds. What are they... Alright, let's see how this goes. They Spell Queller our Spell Queller. Sure. Then I think we wait for them to exile. So our Spell Queller is down. Then just path their Spell Queller. Get back our Spell Queller. Get rid of their path again. Alright, so I think this is working out for us. This also pumps our Mausoleum Wander. Our opponent's going to scry one. So we cast Spell Queller. Enters the battlefield. Pumps our Mausoleum Wander. Gets rid of our opponent's path. And then our opponent is pretty dead. They're going to need something very good here. They drop to 3. And Knight doesn't have haste. So even if they draw a Knight, they can't just combo off. Yeah, we're up against Nightfall. Our deck list is... with the deck command. Alright, Collected Company. I mean, that's a good card. Is it good enough? Does it gain our opponent life? Also, does our opponent have a Spell Queller in hand? Spell Queller and a Knight. Well, I guess the question is, oh, our opponent has a land. All right. Oh no. Okay, yeah, this works. I think block. Yeah, this should win us the game. Opponent's out of cards, so we should be able to just Cryptic, tap down everything, and win. They can sack a Misty to untap one creature, but that's still lethal. So I think this is lethal. Cryptic Command, tap everything our opponent controls, draw a card. Opponent has a single fetch land. So we tap everything, they sack that, untap like Spell Queller, but then we still get in for lethal. I don't see any way this can go wrong. Why does attacking first matter in this scenario? I'm so confused. Am I doing something wrong? Don't I just tap down their creatures and win? Like, is there any way this goes? I don't see any way this goes wrong. Why is it saying pay 1? Oh. Tap all creatures, draw a card. I'm pretty sure this covers everything. Well, they would just sack the fetch in response. And our opponent scoops it up. Yeah, so bouncing the Knight, they would crack the fetch in response. I mean, I guess that keeps an extra creature tapped down, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think there's... Yeah, the Knight is summoning 6, so I'm pretty sure that play was fine. Yes, it's monkey time! Oh, this match is harder than I imagined. It feels very close. I feel like maybe... So we're going to be on the draw. Our opponent was empty-handed, though. So that's, you can see me on Twitter, Prison, for the win. Yeah, our opponent was empty-handed, so it didn't really matter. Yes, bouncing the retreat would have made it so things didn't untap, but that doesn't especially matter. So far so good. Are you really gonna give me a punt for that? People. I don't know if I'm responsible for $13 intervention packs. I mean, I guess I wrote about it and did a video, not playing it, but talking about it. And I think it's cool, but it's like an against the odds thing. So I can't imagine that price being real and actually sticking. What budget MTG deck am I thinking of doing first for Kaladesh Standard? Well, I got a couple weeks to decide 100%, so I'm not 100% sure. Ugh, we finally got this. Finally got the Zero Lander. Is this my first time playing this deck? Well, I played Blue-White Spirits for Budget Magic. And I played a couple games with this non-budget version. Shanghai Stan, thank you for the follow. Shanghai Stan. No, I think the punt command's funny. I wouldn't want to block it. Forrest, thank you for the follow. I am excited for the vehicle deck. I'm really excited for Cryptic. Sorry, I love you, but you got to go to the bottom. I'm really excited for the Metallurgic Summoning like ramp combo deck with Part the Water Veils and Nissa's Renewal, that just seems so sweet. So I'm really excited for that deck too. Well, our opponent finally does not have a Mana Dork, which is nice. Well, Flooded Strand, crack Flooded Strand. Get a Hallowed Fountain, untapped, and let's just Mausoleum Wanderer. Get something on the board. Start the disruption. Digo, thank you for the follow. I work on a boat off the coast of Gulf of Mexico, so I have to watch on the lowest quality. We are 2-0 right now, Snapcaster Dave. And this is, we're 1-1 in this match, so this is the deciding match as to whether we will go 3-0 or 2-1. I've seen a couple really sweet energy decks. There's this thing called Magic League that's like unofficial, but I think we need a Serum Visions to try to find lands. Ooh, I guess that's fine. Can we keep Relic? Tronglower Planner, thank you for the follow. This is Magic Online. Relic does fight against the counter. I guess we have another Serum Vision, so we'll put... We gotta draw the land, though. So Relic on top, Moorland Haunt on top. Cavern of Souls. Man, I wish that was another actual colored source of mana. On Spirit. Get in with Mausoleum Wanderer. Pass the turn. Could I post a non-budget list to go along with the budget list? Like what you would change in Stake Sister deck if you could. Yeah, a Scorch Kid, if you go to the articles on MTG Goldfish, I actually do that. So you can see the non-budget versions on there as well. This is scary. We could just be dying? Alright, let's get in with Mausoleum Wanderer. Play Moorland Haunt. And I'm afraid we could just die if I don't leave up Spell Queller. I think Donovan Bane is pretty sweet in Standard. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Plus, that can potentially set up actual colored mana for next turn. He tapped. So we play Relic here. Next turn, we draw... I guess that's fine. Remand. On top. Seachrome Coast on top. Play Relic. Get rid of the land. I spent most of the videos of the budget. I did do that on accident before I joked about it. So it's not 100% a joke. I did actually mess it up at one point. Birds of Paradise. Gavany Township. Eey, that makes things big. And another knight. Jeez, that is a lot of knights. Opponent gets in with the knight. Sure. How do we win? Probably going to involve Cryptics. So, Seachrome Coast. What do I think of the new Chandra? I think the new Chandra is overhyped but good. Oh, good. I'm glad I haven't destroyed your phone yet, Valupi. Leather, thank you for the follow. Okay. How does this work? Yeah, I mean, I think it is the best Chandra, and I think it'll be good in Standard. Red isn't good, which is scary, but... the mana base is a work in progress, but apart from this match, it hasn't felt bad. What are you worried about, Galactic Pain? Have I ever done a deck tech for domain value? I have not. Copter does look very good. It's really hard to find royalty-free music that is halfway listenable. If you have any, send it to me. I'm always looking for new music possibilities, but it's not that easy. We're still at 2 Moreland Hans. I don't know if that's the correct number or not. Oh, I really don't know what to do here. Chef Irish, thank you for the follow. They're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, pumping. I don't think we can win the race. Well, I guess we might as well get in with Mausoleum Wander. Classical's a good option. Still has the same issue where you have to find music that's royalty free. And YouTube is the worst. They give you copyright claims for things that aren't even copywritten because the system is just so weird. Rockslider Jr., thank you for the follow. People, basically anyone can just be like, oh, this is copywritten, and they don't have to back it up or anything. Well, there's a retreat. Jeez. Alright, so now another decision point. Big Mac, thank you for the follow. Can I predict what deck will be best in the new standard? I cannot. Oh, that's scary, Galactic Pain. Jeez. Well, my thoughts are with you. Hopefully that goes alright. So here's where we're at. If we quell it, and our opponent has Path to Exile, we lose on the spot. Game over. If we don't quell it, then we can wait till our opponent combos off and try to Relic of Progenitus to get all their lands. So those are our 2 options. If we had 1 more mana, we could do both, and I would feel much better about this situation. Oh, Spell Queller just... we are straight up dead to Path. If we go with the Relic plan and they use their mana to like Collected Company, they could get a Pride Mage and we lose to Pride Mage. I think they have more paths than Pride Mages though, but they have Collected Companies to find. We can't counter path because they can get mana with the Knight. They can like sack a tap land to, oh my goodness. They can sack a tap land with a Knight to get an untapped source. But we have to pay a mana is the problem. Alright, I guess we go on the Dead to Path plan. I don't know if this is right or not, but... And they have 2 Knights, I guess. Yeah, alright. I got a feeling we might be dead here, but let's try it. Oh, man, we're really punished for this Seachrome Ghost, actually. If that was an untapped land, we could have had our cake and ate it too, so to speak. So, we'll see. We'll see what our opponent has. There's Spell Queller. Mausoleum Wanderer pumped up. Quell, retreat. If we untap, we have Rattle Chains to protect our Spell Queller, which is actually a big deal. I mean, we still have big knights to deal with, but if we untap, we might actually be in this game, surprisingly enough. No attacks. Wow! Alright. Well, we are alive. So let's get in with both. Put our opponent down to 13. And pass the turn. Whoo! Well, I guess we guessed correctly. Get the land out of the graveyard. You can post links as long as they are to a safe Magic-related site or something like that. As long as it's safe, I don't have a problem with links. If it's deck lists and stuff like that, then 100% go for it. So opponent gets a breeding pool. Oh, are we really going to be able to win this? Rattle Chains keeps Spell Queller alive, most likely. Ooh. Staticaster kills our Mausoleum Wanderer. Do we just remand this? It puts us down mana, though. Or do we just let Mausoleum Wanderer go? The problem is it kills all of our other stuff, too. They can just recast it, though. Alright. Alright. Let's remand it. Draw a card. Path would be our best draw. If we draw a Path, we can... We can Path, Snapcaster, Path? I guess we need one more land as well. Is it possible to see a list of decks that have been self-submitted to MTG Goldfish? If you have an account, you can see them. You just go to I think it's Tools and then My Decks, and it should show you a list of all the decks that you've submitted. So, and you probably have to have an account, right, to be able to save decks. I love the deck idea for Spirits. Love to see some continued thoughts on Feyblade deck posted. Actually have one I've played for a while in Modern. Always looking for other ideas to improve it. Yeah, the Feyblade deck was sweet too. I enjoyed that one. Opponent gets a Horizon Canopy. They're going to draw a card. There's the draw. Knights are up to 5/5s. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks with both knights. Well, I guess this means we have to crack our relic. This is a much more fairy-like tempo control build than Bant Spirits. Ooh, there's the path. Oh my god, there's the path. Big Baba Smurf, thank you for the follow. That was a draw. That was a draw. We actually are kind of still in this game, although Is It Staticaster is a problem. Birds of Paradise. Here comes Is It Staticaster. Ugh, we might have to kill this Staticaster, actually. There goes our Mausoleum Wanderer. Flooded Strand. Past Staticaster. We can't have it mowing down all of our spirits. Oh man, we drew another path? Oh my god. So let's... Oh my goodness. We can't kill both of them here, but we get in with Spell Queller. Opponent blocks. So, pass the turn. I think we might be good. Opponent drops to 9. Whoo! Yeah, we're gonna... Our time is fine. We're gonna win or lose this in the next couple minutes. We don't know which yet, but something's gonna happen. Still a little scared of Collected Company. Opponent goes to combat. So let's Path a Knight. Oh, this is going to be close. KD, thank you for the follow. So Knight down. We take 3. So we get to Rattle Chains. Give Spell Queller Hexproof. Another Izzet Staticaster. Wow. All right. They're going to go to kill our Rattle Chains. In response, we Mausoleum Wanderer to get it on the battlefield. We draw Remand. So attack with both. Opponent blocks. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Snapcaster Mage. Get rid of the last night. Whoo! Wow! Whoa! They slow rolled a negate? Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Upkeep doesn't allow our opponent to use that land right away. The land comes into play tapped. Oh, did they peel Collecting Company? Alright, Township pumps their stuff. They get in with Knight. 1 card in hand. We draw a Ghost Quarter. So play Ghost Quarter. Attack with both. See if our opponent's Staticasters. Opponent takes it. Down to 5. We play a Selfless Spirit. How am I dead? I don't think I'm dead here. We have a token we can make at instant speed from Moorland Haunt. So opponent kills Selfless Spirit. We're dead to a Path to Exile. We can make a token at instant speed, so we're not dead just to our opponent's board. Good old Moorland Haunt. Wow, this has become quite the game. Wow. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. So we block with Snapcaster. Man, we could use a good draw here. Wow, punt! Oh, what a punt! Does this win us the game? Whoa! Pumps up Mausoleum Wanderer. Did our opponent just lose themselves the game? Passes. Wow. Make a spirit. Pumps everything up. And our opponent scoops it up. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! And y'all thought I was dead. Oh, thank God. Whew. That was sweet. Oh my goodness. Well, on to 3-0. Oh. Moorland Haunt. No one expects Moorland Haunt. Whew, my goodness. Wow. Oh, alright. Moorland Haunt. Oh my goodness. Confirm good. I mean, we needed a little bit of punting to get there, but wow, that was a really close match. Jeez. Well, on to 3-0. Whew. I really thought we were dead several times during that match. That's the odd part. I thought our opponent understood Moorland Haunt because not shooting down the Snapcaster showed an awareness of Moorland Haunt making a 1-1 to chump block and keep us alive. So it seemed like they had an awareness of how that worked, and then the very next turn they didn't play around it. So I don't understand. If you have a problem with the stream flickering, you can go to the little gear icon and set the quality up to source, I believe, and that will hopefully take care of it. Wow, that was such a crazy match. Alright, on to round 4. We both almost played through our entire clock. Alright, we get to play first. Thank you for the follow, Grandpa, maybe? I have never played Taminoa in anything. Call, thank you for the follow. Well, good time for reminders, since there's a lot of new people here. If you're looking for old streams, MTG Goldfish Replay has all our old streams, so if you're enjoying tonight's stream, there's some great moments on the YouTube channel. And also, if you're looking for a way to support the stream, we got playmats and t-shirts and all that fun stuff. We reapplied again for partnership at Twitch, waiting to hear back. Going solo, thank you for the follow. But I'm feeling hopeful this time after someone from Twitch was in the chat on one of our last streams. Willie Wookie, thank you for the follow. So I'm feeling hopeful that this might be the time we're actually partnered. All right, Hallowed Fountain, go. Yes, new Chandra has almost certainly have to drop. Gunter Exalted, yeah, we would definitely consider one of your decks. I don't know when the next time we'll do a viewer submitted week will be, but for sure. Alright, let's just Island go, leave up Remand, leave up Rattle Chains. Gil, thank you for the follow. Man, can we really 5-0 with this? That would be sweet. If this is a grindy, like, Delver deck, I feel, or, like, Grixis mid-range control, I feel good. G666I, thank you for the follow. Tons of follows today. Tons of viewers, tons of follows. All of you are awesome. So awesome. Alright, well, let's Rattle Chains. Probably going to die immediately, but what can you do? At least we have Moreland Haunt. Ooh, doesn't die immediately. So, Moreland Haunt. Get in 4-2. Put our opponent down to 17. Skyfish Zeta, thank you for the follow. Pass the turn, leave up our Remand. Man, Moreland Haunt's probably going to be good in this matchup. Mountain for our opponent. Oh, Faithless Looting. Is this Dredge? If this is Dredge, hopefully this is not Griselbrand. That's scary. Although we can Remand, Snapcaster Remand, and maybe that tempo play is enough. Thank you, Switzerland, for the follow. What in the budget deck, what should I take out to play Serum Visions? Was planning to pick up 4 anyway. What is this? Oh, Necrotic Ooze? Something spicy is happening across the table. Necrotic Ooze? Is this Goryo's with Necrotic Ooze? I haven't seen Necrotic Ooze and Goryo's in a long time. I think Donovan Bane is super hot. Collective Brutality. Well, I think we need to Remand Collective Brutality. Get it out of our hand. Ooh, draw another one. Alright, get in with the Rattle Chains. And pass the turn. Bloodstained Mire for our opponent. Now we actually have... We can Remand for 2 more turns in a row. Potentially. Alright, there's Collective Brutality. We let this one go. Oh, I probably should have flashed in Maelstromonder. You're correct, El Weirdo. Captain, thank you for the follow. That's exactly where Necrotic Ooze hangs out. Aaron, thank you for the follow. Tons of follows. Our opponent, I mean, they only have one choice, but they're writing down our hand. Luckily, we have these Snapcasters. Opponent passes. So, let's Maelstrom Wanderer. And also Selfless Spirit. Well, that speeds up our clock a bit. Glacial Fortress. Alright, let's get in with everything. Floor Monitor. Greetings from the US. Awesome! I always love to hear of people teaching their students how to play Magic. Tracy King, stream is going great. We are currently 3-0. I don't think we want to play this Glacial Fortress. We don't want our opponent to know that that's what we drew. We're getting in there with our Maelstrom Wanderers. Alright, opponent passes. Ooh, another Mausoleum Wander. That has potential to matter. Because we can actually flash that in with Remand, and we have 2 Mausoleum Wanderers to sack. Well, this is the turn. Either our opponent's going to kill us here, or our Mausoleum Wanderers... Desperate Ritual. Okay. Lola Ray, thank you for the follow. Through the Breach. Well, let's Mausoleum Wander. We gotcha. We gotcha, opponent. Mausoleum Wander happens to pump our Mausoleum Wander. And then we can sack a Mausoleum Wander. Boom. We still have Snapcaster Remand up. Faithless Looting for our opponent. We could still lose here. It could happen. Actually, Mausoleum Wander might be the card that wins us this game. Because if they go 2-mana reanimation spell into us remanding to cast it again... I sometimes call it Maelstrom Wanderer, which is another real Magic card, by the way. In case you were wondering. Alright, well, we're just gonna pass. Like, our opponent has to stop us from killing them here. So, let's attack. What do you have, opponent? And they scoop it up! Yeah, I didn't want to tap out. We could have activated Moorland Haunt, but I wanted to leave up mana for instant speed shenanigans. Whew, alright, we're on our way, getting close to that 5-0. I do not know if we should be expecting Boseiju, actually. I know we aren't Relic of Progenitus. What's up, Chicken Fajita? Yeah, our opponent was on the Hope We Misclick plan. Did I say Moorland Wanderer too? I make up my own card names. Dispel seems we're good. Favorite card from the new set? I really like Reservoir. Egg 2007, thank you for the follow. So that might be my favorite still. What are we taking out? What's not good? Hey, congrats, dude. Probably go down Kira. I'm not really worried about our opponent killing our stuff. I did not make it to a pre-release, Tracy King. Did you? I think we want some amount of paths. Yeah, Selfless Spirit is probably the one that has to go. It's just not very relevant to this matchup. Good call, Jay Zoller. So something like this, I think. Well, we got the game 1 win, so now we get Graveyard Hate, and I think our post-board matchup should be better to some extent. So stealing the win in game 1 against that deck is pretty big game for us. Chris, thank you for the follow. Alright, well, Mono Counter Spell Hand. I guess we keep it. Temple of Malice for our opponent. Scries to the bottom. Ooh, there's a path. Alright, well, Island and Serum Visions. I think we'll draw the Island and then draw the Spell Queller. Spell Queller is good in this matchup, too. Yeah, I guess Island was another consideration. Opened 5 Gearhulks, a Chandra, and a Foil Nissa. Awesome. Went to 2, ended up 3-1 in both. Although it feels like I lost since there were multiple people pulling Masterpieces or double Planeswalkers. Yeah, that is kind of the downside of those cards. Our opponent discarded a Blood Moon and a Simian Spirit Guide. Not super threatening. So let's just Glacial Fortress and pass the turn. Splashing black for Lingering Souls is a legitimate plan. Pontiac Firebird, there's a few options depending on your play style, but Burn is an option. The 8-Whack Goblins deck is an option. I think we're just going to Mausoleum Wander here and leave up Counter Magic. The Spirits deck is actually pretty sweet, the budget build of it. Zero Dragons, thank you for the follow. Scred Salt, thank you, thank you. Well, our opponent doesn't seem to be doing much, which is good for us. Ooh, we got another land? Nice. Alright, so Flooded Strand. Let's get in with Mausoleum Wander. And I think we're just going to leave up all of our stuff. We might actually run out Spell Queller here, just as a threat. Innate, thank you for the follow. Merfolk is a reasonable deck, too. I don't know how budget you would consider it. Went 2 and 2 on both pre-releases, proceeded to buy another 2 pre-release packs to packs to crack. Alright, Nourishing Shoal. I'm tempted to just remand that. They just exiled their Worldspine Worm. Feels pretty safe. We should probably crack Flooded Strand first in case of instant speed shenanigans. Get an island. This is like a, yeah, sort of Jund Reanimator. Let's remand it. Get a Snapcaster. I wish our clock was faster. I'm tempted to just run Snapcaster out there to speed up our clock. Opponent has another one, goes for it again. Alright, sure, you get to gain a bunch of life. Whatever. That's going to take a lot longer to kill our opponent now. So let's get in with Mausoleum Wander. I don't believe I'm dyslexic. I think I just read quickly and read only the first part of words sometimes, and also talk a lot. So I think my odds of saying things wrong go up just because I am constantly talking, and it's usually being filmed. Alright, let's run out a Spell Queller just to speed up our clock a bit. I think that's fine. We have a lot of disruption in our hand. There's another Serum Visions. Well, let's get in with both. Oh, I'd like to start Serum Visioning. Let's pass the turn. I'm not gonna go down mana so we can't double counter. That sounds risky. It's just so easy to die quickly out of nowhere against this deck. Went 3 and 1 with Philharmonica deck with Red Gearhulk and Mana Vault. Sweet. Ooh, our opponent's got the loot available. Alright. Well, let's see what we draw. Man, all the Path to Exiles. We might actually just have to path one of our own creatures at some point. I think we're actually to the point where we're going to discard a path. Actually, no, let's discard a Serum Visions. Opponent chose not to loot there. Alright, there's a land finally. So, Hollow Fountain untapped. Thank you for the follow, Set. So let's get in with both. Yeah, Panharmonicon seems sweet. I think it's more casual than competitive, but it's a really cool card. 4 mana is just kind of a lot for competitive, like tournament play. But awesome for commander, for casual, against the odds, budget magic, all that stuff. But I would be surprised to see it end up tier 1, just because of how expensive it is. Alright, let's get in with both. Opponent. They're going to kill our stuff? Alright, Sunshock. We can't do a thing about that. Get in for 2. Now let's Serum Visions. Snapcaster, Spell Queller. Well, I think we are going to keep both. We'll draw a Spell Queller first. And pass the turn. We have a lot of interaction, which is good. It should be hard for our opponent to combo off through this hand. Like, oh, look at this hand. Alright, Collective Brutality. Alright, sure. There goes a negate, I assume. Whew, our hand is all nicely arranged, too. All the pass in a row, the negates in a row, all the art matching, so I'm happy about that. Actually got the art right this time. Sometimes that doesn't work out so well. Notifications never work for this channel? I don't know. They're playing a Goryo's Vengeance deck. Give me a potato, thank you for the follow. I would not recommend smoking weed before going to FNM, Singe. But I guess that's your call. Opponent. Did they take our... They took a negate. Alright, Sax Bloodstainmire. And passes. Well, our opponent's all the way back down to 20. Get in with Spell Queller. See if our opponent starts looting here. They still don't really have anything great in their graveyard. But our clock isn't that fast because they gain so much life. Here comes the loot. I guess we pitch a Snapcast or a Path to Exile now. Should you go out and buy foil Moorland Haunts? It's very unlikely that I think they'll spike in the paper world. Whoa! You know an opponent's desperate when they are doing the old hard cast a Simian Spirit Guide plan. Alright. Ooh, there's a relic too. That's a good draw. Shuts down one of our opponent's potential outs. So let's get in with Spell Queller. Down to 16. Yeah, they use Nourishing Shoal to gain a 11 life by exiling a Worldspine Wurm. Actually exiled 2. They had to do it twice because we remanded. Favorite cube card of all time is maybe Winter Orb. Winter Orb is one of my favorite cube cards. Also, Mind Twist. Mind Twist or Winter Orb would be near the top of my list. If either one. So opponent gets in for 2. We start hitting their graveyard. Not that we can really work through all this, but we'll start. Flooded Strand, get in with Spell Queller. We're playing super cautious, but I don't think our opponent can really punish us for taking this slowly. Orb is a super mean card, and so is Mind Twist, but I like mean cards. Looting gets us a Hallowed Fountain, which we will discard, I guess. I like mean cards. Yeah, Winter Orb is super punishing. Yeah, it might be time to run a Snapcaster out there. Although, it's kind of nice just to have so much protection. Like, I don't know how our opponent gets through this hand. Yeah, they're pretty close to the hardcast Emrakul plan. More Simian Spirit Guides. Ugh. I think we're actually going to path a Simian Spirit Guide here. And then exile. I do love Stasis. Stasis is on my all-time favorite cards list, but it's hard to make work in Cube in specific. Get a land. Ooh, they have a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard. Another Flooded Strand. Well, let's get in with Spell Queller. Play Flooded Strand, pass the turn. I think casting it still feels worse, but pathing it feels pretty bad too. Pathing like a Bitter Blossom token, that's got to be at the very top of the worst feel bads. Opponent gets in 4-10, or down to 10, 4-2. Alright, let's hit the graveyard. Still have so many cards that the game's probably going to end before we actually get through it. Crack the fetch. Get a Plains in case there's a Blood Moon. Alright, there's Mausoleum Wanderer. That picks up our clock a little bit. Get in with Spell Queller. I'm sure I have been ghosted. There's been a few times where it's been very suspicious, but if people want to ghost in these leagues, it's fine. Alright, so let's just start with Exile Relic. To get rid of the graveyards. It seems like we might end up playing the White Knight deck. Another Goryo's Vengeance. So negate the second Goryo's Vengeance. Do they have 3 Goryo's Vengeance? Alright, so graveyard's gone. So now the biggest worry would be our opponent putting something into play with Through the Breach. Oh, that's a Cryptic. Good God. Alright, discard Polluted Delta. Cryptic is a good one. I don't think we had a negate to... Our Snapcaster's getting happier now that we do Cryptic Command. Oh, yep. No, there's no way we can play 4 main deck disenchant effects. That's not practical. What did our opponent discard? Loots with Gaia Reach again. Man, we're pretty close to just winning. Oh, we drew another negate, too. Alright, let's just pitch a Path to Exile. Well, we drew into exactly what we were hoping for. Double Snapcaster doesn't just win us the game, though. I think we just play for the slower win. So our opponent down to 7. Cast another Simian Spirit Guide. Alright, let's run a Spell Queller out there. Pumps our Mausoleum Wanderer. Get in for 5. Pass the turn. So this is our opponent's turn. They got to kill us this turn. Beginning of combat. Opponent loots with Gaia Reach. And our opponent scoops it up. Sweet. All right. We are 4-0, heading to the 5-0. One more match to go. Yeah. If you're going to bother to cast a Simian Spirit Guide, you at least want it to resolve. TBQ, thank you for the follow. Well, Spirits looking pretty legit. Any thoughts on Lantern Control with the new Kaladesh lands? I think it gets a bit better, but it's not like a huge deal. Shouldn't Wanderer have 11 counters on it? It only gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Captain, obviously, that's pretty hardcore. I'll unsub and never unfollow and never watch again. Good lord. A handful. I don't know what the actual number is. We play a lot of janky decks, so 5-0s don't come as often as we'd like. But yeah, we 5-0'd with Bant Spirits most recently. We 5-0'd with Naya's Super Friends multiple times. So we have 5-0'd a few times, but we are often playing really janky decks, which makes it challenging. The Dapper Dan, thank you to for the follow. So Vile and we 5-0'd with Budget Burn on the videos, but that wasn't on stream. Vile, I would just rather have more threats. Bob, thank you for the, or Bobo, thank you for the follow. Yeah, the +1/+1 is only until end of turn. Most likely, we won't have a standard stream until... we most likely won't play standard until after Kaladesh is out, which is maybe 10 days? But then we will definitely be playing a lot of standard once Kaladesh is released. I just don't really have any interest in playing the weird dead format. Like, it's so awkward that standard rotates in paper and everyone's playing Kaladesh, but in Magic Online you can't play with the new cards. The format's actually the same. Money Jam, thank you for the follow. What's my opinion on Merfolk in Modern? Been wondering about buying that deck. I mean, it's decent. Merfolk in Modern is decent. It's not, I don't think, tier 1 at the moment, but it's a reasonable deck that can win a tournament. Any thoughts on what standard deck I will build? Well, we'll play a lot of different ones, but I'm excited for Metallurgic Summoning, for like the Storm combo deck with Ether Reservoir, for energy decks, Green-Red Energy, also more like big energy decks with Aetherworks Marvel, for Emeralds and Ulamogs. The vehicle deck, did I mention that? So there's a lot of decks I'm excited to try out in New Standard. Do I think Wizards is inflating the power intentionally of Planeswalkers by omitting their mention on cards like Harsh Scrutiny and other burn cards that only hit creatures? Well, it used to be that Planeswalker wasn't on cards, period. So there weren't cards that dealt with Planeswalkers. Uh-oh. Bob the Builder 24 says that he is playing my deck. Yeah, we'll keep. Keys to the City, I'm not really too excited for that card. Oh! our So our opponent is playing Budget Spirits and is currently 3-0 in this league with the budget build. So that's awesome. The budget deck apparently pretty legit with Bob the Builder also at 3-0 in this league. So maybe we're onto something here with Spirits. Let's keep both of these. Shadow, thank you for the follow. I know, wouldn't that be the way? I mean, if we're going to lose the 5-0, the way the way I want to lose is to one of our own budget decks in the undefeated bracket in a league. I wouldn't even be mad about that. I would be completely fine if we lose this, because there's nothing I like to see more than our budget decks doing well. I love seeing people having success with budget decks. I think our big advantage, well, the budget build doesn't have as many counters. I was going to say Cavern was our big advantage, but I don't know if that's true. Alright, Cavern of Souls on Spirit. And we might as well pass the turn. I almost wonder if we're in bad shape. No changes to the BNR announcement. Yeah, the Souls, the Stake Sisters deck was pretty sweet too. We've had some good modern decks lately, I think. What's my favorite budget deck I've built? Alright, well, I don't want double Rattle Chain, so let's just Spell Queller. Get rid of Rattle Chains. I know they did because they said they're playing our deck, so I know they saw the budget magic. Serum Visions for our opponent. This is the mirror match in the undefeated bracket in the league. Snapcaster is also a big advantage, although Figure Destiny, kind of scary. Ooh, we have a Ghost Quarter too. Well, I think we're just going to play a Drog Skull Captain. If we get Drog Skull Captains locked in, I feel like we're heavily favored. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Get in with Spell Queller. I think Jake is a little sad about no Drake being banned. I don't know. I don't play enough Pauper to really know for sure whether that's correct, but it seems like most of the Pauper people would rather have had it banned. Well, let's see if this can go wrong. Drog Skull Captain, uncounterable. Do we got the lock? Opponent's gonna bounce our... Oh, no. Alright. So, Glacial Fortress, pass the turn. I think we actually have to stay on defense now. Opponent. Passes. Let's Serum Visions. What was the punt? Hallowed Fountain to the bottom. Cryptic, number 2 on top. Play Plains. Pass the turn. So what we're looking for is our opponent to tap out and then bounce the Spell Queller to get the second... Bounce the Spell Queller to get the second Drog Skull Captain. Alright, so here's the plan. Our opponent attacks with Figure. Oh, they don't even attack. Alright. So we draw Cryptic, play Ghost Quarter, pass the turn. Cryptic also seems like a big advantage. So we just want our opponent to level up this Figure. Our opponent said, "I'm so afraid of Cryptic." Oh, they they know it too. Oh no. Oh well, good on you, opponent. Playing around the Cryptic. Levels up Figure of Destiny. Well, we might have to just double Cryptic. Okay, so Figure's leveled up. So what we're going to do is wait. So let's go for Cryptic. Go for Cryptic. It's probably going to get countered. So return Spell Queller, draw a card. There's Remand. Alright. So we take 4, untap, draw land, 1, we don't have enough blue for double, 2, 3, 4, so Cryptic number 2, return a permanent, draw a card. So now we have the lock in, and we can Mausoleum Wanderer and Selfless Spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a bit of attacking. Get in for 3. And pass the turn. Opponent plays a land. I think we're pretty well set up here. They can't ultimate Figure yet. Crag Polluted Delta. Get an island. Another Selfless Spirit. Well, let's do some attacking. Can we represent lethal here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? I guess that forces a chump. That might be aggressive. Yeah, let's leave back Drog Skulls. Attack like that. We can always sack our Selfless Spirit if we need to. There's a Spell Queller. See how our opponent blocks. Blocks. Unblocks. Blocks. Blocks, blocks. Alright, so we'll just kill... Actually, let's kill Rattle Chains. Kill Rattle Chains. Get in some damage. Nothing comes back. Another Spell Queller. Okay. And then just play a Selfless Spirit. And then Ghost Quarter Moorland Haunt. Whew, alright, pass turn. We might do the face cam thing at some point. So far, I gotten mixed feedback on it. Opponent has a Drug Skull Captain of their own. And passes. Well, I think we're going to go Cryptic, tap, draw. And then, if this goes wrong, we can do it again by flashing back the other one with Snapcaster. Spell Queller. Alright, this should do it. Opponent put up a good fight, but having more powerful cards occasionally is the difference. Snapcaster for the other Cryptic. Oh, sorry, opponent. I feel bad beating one of our budget decks. Alright, well, we are one win away from the 5-0. Magic Viking, thank you for the follow. This is a song by Weisiger. It's all just public domain music, podcast safe music, whatever you want to call it. I guess we bring in Blessed Alliance and maybe Dispel and maybe Ghost Quarter and go down what? Our opponent's 3-0, which is very impressive. Ooh, Little Fiend, thank you for the follow. Kira seems good. Drogskol Captain's good. Remand. Paths. Man, I want to... Maybe we don't need the second Ghost Quarter. Maybe I'm just over sideboarding. Yeah, I guess we're probably just favored. I am interested in Dispel to win a counter war. Yeah, we'll just bring in a Dispel over a Serum Vision. That's fine. I was interested in having the life gain from Blessed Alliance. A Steelers Midget, thank you for the follow. All right. Okay, well, we got a Serum Visions and a million Path to Exiles. Should be good against this deck. Maelstrom Wanderer. Ugh. Well, Hallowed Fountain and Serum Visions. Oh, there's our lands. All right. So Flooded Strand on top, Glacial Fortress on top. Now I feel like this hand is the nuts. Yeah, over 1,000 people. Thank you, everyone. That's awesome. Opponent matches our Serum Visions with a Serum Visions with more questionable art. Not safe for work. Hope everyone is 18 plus. Mausoleum Wanderer gets in for 1. So Glacial Fortress. And I think we're just going to pass. Yeah, this hand feels pretty good. And we even got another land on top. Opponent gets in with Mausoleum Wanderer. And let's just path it. We have so many paths. Ugh, Rattle Chains. Ugh. That's kind of annoying. Saves Mausoleum Wanderer. Well, Flooded Strand. Play a Selfless Spirit. Pass the turn. Yeah, we are getting outvalued. Our standard cards are getting outvalued by our opponent's standard cards. Alright, well, there's a path. We'll get an island. Let's crack Flooded Strand. I think we actually got to kill something here. Get a Plains. Get rid of Rattle Chains. If they sack Mausoleum Wanderer, fine. Alright, Mausoleum Wanderer stays. I need to mispronounce better. Would I ever play Grishelbrand? Maybe. The deck's pretty sweet. I haven't tried it yet, but opponent gets in with Mausoleum Wanderer. Ooh, Spell Queller. Well, let's just pass the turn. We might flash in a Spell Queller. I think our opponent has Spell Queller, so we Spell Queller, our opponent Spell Quellers to get our Spell Queller, then we Path to get their Spell Queller. Something like that is what I'm thinking. Our opponent just remands. Alright. Sure. Alright, down to 9. Glacial Fortress, not bad. Let's pass the turn. I feel like if we get stable, then we're gonna win this game. Have I seen the art on Earthbound? I have. It's very old. Not that that's a justification, but things have changed. Let's rattle chains. Give rattle chains hexproof. And then let's also Kira. Here comes Spell Queller. Sure. Well, we can pass Spell Queller, get back our Kira. Seems reasonable. So let's pass Spell Queller. This is going to be close, but I feel like we are almost stable. Adam, thank you for the follow. Alright, so Spell Queller down. We get back our Kira, which protects all of our stuff from bounce spells and whatnot. Pass the turn. I think we might have turned the corner here. Opponent has another Selfless Spirit. Pumps up Mausoleum Wanderer. And another Mausoleum Wanderer. Well, let's Spell Queller. Opponent's last card is a Remand. Alright. Well, down to 4. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. We're actually kind of close to dying. Feathers, welcome. Island for our opponent. They know we got a Spell Queller. No attacks. Well, let's Selfless Spirit. And also Spell Queller. Play the island, pass the turn. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Luckily, our paths have made it so our opponent doesn't have any creatures for the Moorland Haunt. Otherwise, that would be a problem. Opponent passes. We get another Rattle Chains. Now we're at this weird standoff, but our opponent's at 20 life. Yeah, let's attack with a Spell Queller. I kind of want to start breaking things up a little bit. Opponent blocks with a Selfless Spirit. Does not. Does. And does. And does. Wow. Alright, well, let's put the 2 Selfless Spirits in front. I'm fine with trading Spell Queller for Selfless Spirit here. Bonus hacks it. We get through 1 Selfless Spirit. Opponent makes a 1/1, pumps their Mausoleum Wanderers. Drogskell Captain. Alright, let's just Spell Queller Drogskell Captain. We can't have that coming down. That would be bad news. Another one? Oh my god. Well, I guess Remand buys us a turn. It does not. Alright, our opponent's stuff gets pumped up. Yikes! Drawing 2 Drogskell Captains. Oh my goodness. Big attack. Well, block, block, and block. We drop to 1. Ghost Quarter, not helpful. Serum Visions. Well, there's our Drogskell Captain and our Moreland Haunt. So let's put on top, put on top, play Drogskell Captain, play Ghost Quarter, get rid of Moreland Haunt. So no more of that trickery. And pass the turn. Phantasmal Image could work in this deck. Opponent passes. Well, let's run out another Rattle Chains. Give our opponent's creature hexproof so we don't break the seal. Draw a Spell Queller, pass the turn. Maybe I should have sacked Selfless there. I feel like we are set up to win now, though. Opponent has another Drogskell Captain. Our opponent also had Selfless Spirit, remember? Opponent passes. We get our Moreland Haunt. Pass the turn. Basically, we're going to draw into a Cryptic eventually. And when we Cryptic, we win the game. Splashing black is a possibility. I think it could be worth it, but I'm not 100% sure if it will be. Alright, Selfless Spirit. Gotta save our Queller for when we really need it. What's our opponent's stuff really doing here? Not much. I think that the best counter spell is the counter spell that is in your hand at the end of the game. So, yeah, it would have been nice, but we're not targeting our opponent's stuff. We've already burnt through almost all of our paths. So I don't think it's really worth it. There's Cryptic. Do we win? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, one more turn. One more turn. And we can potentially win. Oh, I don't know if it's worth going for it, though. Oh, it's risky. Like, if something goes wrong, we could lose. Wow, another Spell Queller? Oh, I don't know if this is worth it. Well, we know there's no Gut Shot because we built this deck, so we know exactly what's in it. The question is, oh, do we just go for it? Alright, let's just pass. I mean, we could have it, we could not have it. Our hand is really solid. There's probably no reason to just force it. I think I will Spell Queller that, though. Is our opponent going to Spell Queller? The problem is they have flash threats. That's a big concern. So, since we had Xaxes, there's potential that we would tap all their stuff and our opponent could still flash something in. I want to start attacking. let's get in with the Rattle Chains at least. We need to start dealing damage to our opponent. Opponent takes it down to 17. I feel like if we go for it, things could still go wrong. When if we play it slow, we're in really good shape. So let's get in with Rattle Chains. Opponent Spell Quellers. Well, let's Spell Queller the Spell Queller. Opponent Remand Spell Queller. Well, let's Spell Queller again. Oh! They must have another Remand. Rattle Chains. Okay. What does that do, though? Oh, pumps Mausoleum Wanderers? Alright, so we Spell Queller the Spell Queller. We're still going to lose our Rattle Chains, which I guess is okay. So Rattle Chains down. Pass the turn. Opponent finds a Serum Visions. Yeah, the Wanderers can shut down the Cryptic. It still gets multiple creatures off the table, though. Oh my god. Another one. So many Maelstrom Wanderers. I wouldn't mind drawing another Drog Skull Captain. Remand. Alright, we pass the turn. This deck, this matchup has gotten weird. If we weren't at such a low life total, things would be slightly easier. Well, Rattle Chains. Exiled. Make a token. Flooded Strand. Oh, alright. Pass the turn. We'll get there eventually. I don't think it's worth going for it yet. Alright, there's a path. Not super exciting, but it does mean we can't die to Vapor Snag. If we draw into Snapcasters, that would make things easier. Ooh, there's a Captain. That's a good draw. Drug Soul Captain. Is our opponent out of counters? Alright. That pumps our stuff up. We got the lockdown. So that means we can get in with, like, Kira now without really worrying. So let's attack with Kira. Opponent Rattle Chains. If we just run our opponent out of cards, then we got it. Yeah, there was a chance with, like, multiple Vapor Snags our opponent could have done that, but now we have it locked in, so that's not a problem. Trades off with Mausoleum Wander. Sure. Pass the turn. We don't even mind trading off because we get a token and they don't, since we're the one that has the have the Moorland Hunt. So exile Kira. Hallowed Fountain tapped. What's under these Spell Quellers? Serum Visions, Spell Queller. We'll attack with the Serum Vision Spell Queller. Opponent has a Spell Queller. Well, I think... Alright, sure. What does our opponent have left? We know their deck. Remand, Remand, Remand is gone. We are getting to the point where we should be able to get a pretty good idea what our opponent still has available. Blocks with Mausoleum Wander and Spell Queller. Kill the Mausoleum Wander. Opponent gets Discern Visions. Sure. Yeah, this mirror has ended up being super strange. I've never played a mirror with this deck before. This game is still going. This is still game 2. This is the longest, the longest game. All right, pass the turn. I don't think our opponent can break the board stall though. Opponent can Snapcaster a Serum Visions, I guess. So our opponent has some upgrades. So they're gonna Snapcaster back the Serum Visions. I think we're going to remand that. Draw Rattle Chains. Plains for our opponent. Down to 2 cards. So let's Moorland Haunt. Make a 1/1. Rattle Chains. Ugh. Alright, give a token hexproof a second time. Alright, let's just go for it. Tap all creatures, draw a card. Opponent has Dispel. Alright. Well, opponent lives to fight another day. There's a Selfless Spirit. Oh, this match is getting ridiculous. I guess we attack with Rattle Chains. Oh, no. Well, that's not a big deal. But, yeah, they have a Spell Queller now. We get a token out of it. Opponent has Figure of Destiny, which is going to get very leveled up. So, exile. Oh, maybe we should have kept waiting. We can still draw... Oh, we can still draw a Snapcaster. Opponent levels up Figure. Figure is going to be huge and annoying. We draw Plains. Pass the turn. I mean, I think we just wait till we draw another... The Figure has hexproof now, yeah. Well, now they're going to have this huge Figure of Destiny that we got to deal with. And our opponent finds a Moorland Haunt. Oh my god. We just need to find another Cryptic and finish this game. Another Moorland Haunt. Pass the turn. Alright. I guess the good news is our opponent is actually behind on cards, so if this just goes on forever, they will mill out first, which could be a thing. I don't think it's worth swinging with the tokens. Opponent levels up. Figure is massive. Yeah, we are in the mirror playing for 5-0. I don't think we win if we attack with all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't think we have lethal. Opponent passes. We keep drawing fetch lands that do nothing. You gotta remember we're playing in a match with tons of flash creatures, so just exactly getting in lethal damage isn't necessarily going to win us the game. It might sound like a good idea, but it's very possible if we were going to get in Xaxes that a blocker could be flashed in. Well, Mausoleum Wanderer. Pass the turn. We'll draw the Cryptics eventually. We got multiple Snapcasters and another Cryptic. And a Dispel to protect it. Selfless Spirit. Glacial Fortress, go. Yeah, this is pretty boring. I agree. Oh, who would have thought that this is how the league would end? Well, there's Dispel. That'll be helpful once we find a Cryptic. Our opponent will probably have more Spell Quellers by then. Opponent passes. Another Mausoleum Wanderer. Pass the turn. I think we can still win. Glacial Fortress. There's not that many cards left in our decks. Our opponent actually has to kill us in the next 13 cards is a bigger deal. And I don't know if our opponent is going to be able to do that. Island, go. We got to be getting low on lands. 1, 2... I don't even know. We got to be getting almost out of lands. Moorland Haunt lets us get spirits from dead spirits. Whoa, opponent! I feel like we got fleeced. Alright, well... Alright, sure? Well, that changes things. Our opponent saying they were playing our budget deck wasn't exactly true. That was maybe half. That wasn't exactly true. You can't path it because it has hexproof. It has hexproof. It has hexproof. All right, so our opponent is not playing a completely budget version. Our opponent is actually, not only are they playing Cryptic, but that's Texla's promo Cryptic. Yeah, I'm not feeling bad anymore. I'm feeling a little bit fleeced. Because as we played that entire game, I was under the impression that our opponent wouldn't have Cryptic or Snapcaster because they said they were the budget version, but they're actually playing a version that looks very similar to ours. Except maybe without paths. Well, I think it's possible that one of these matches can go fast. It could happen. They did get us pretty good. We weren't going to lose because of the Vapor Snag dealing damage. We're going to lose by Cryptic tapping down all of our stuff. Well, I would have played much differently if I thought that Cryptic was an actual possibility. Oh, dear. Alright, well, we just got to win this game 3 then for the 5-0. Oh, our opponent with the budgetness. Alright. Let's just run it back. I think we can still win. I think we actually want Path. Path is good. Our opponent was oh. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, this is fine. Not insane, but fine. So let's just Seachrome Coast. Go. Time isn't that much of a problem yet. Glacial Fortress for our opponent. We get Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. Get an island, and we are just going to run a Rattle Chains out there main phase. Pass the turn. Before our opponent can leave up counter magic. See what our opponent has. We do want to be the aggressor in this match. because of the time issue. So we would rather not take the control role. And we have a pretty good hand to play the tempo plan. Yeah, it's not too crazy. Cryptic isn't that expensive. Oh, Mana Tithe. Oh, if we lose to Mana Tithe. Bladed Agent. You are right, Jay Zoller. That would. Alright. Well, Flooded Strand. Attack with Rattle Chains. We're just going full out, kill our opponent quickly. That's our plan. So, Rattle Chains. Gets in. And we pass the turn. Planes for our opponent. Serum Visions, sure. Opponent is, this is a mirror actually. Cost, thank you for the follow. Well, let's run a Selfless Spirit out there. Opponent remands, sure. And scoops it up? What? Oh, I don't get it. I don't understand. Our opponent just scooped. But, well. Well, technically, we're 5-0. I'm not sure why our opponent scooped there exactly. I feel like we were in good shape, but I mean, we got the 5-0 one way or another, so. Whoo! Alright! Sweet! Well, anyway, I guess the moral of that is that, yeah, the league was so sweet, and then the finals was the longest, grindiest. The game 2 was just the biggest board stall, waiting for someone to draw a Cryptic, just going on forever. Oh, so the bottom line is, this deck seems legit. Like, we went 5-0, our opponent was 3-0, and with a more budget version than us. They actually said the Cryptic was a one-of. So they were playing a slightly more budget version than we are. So if you're looking for a good modern deck that can also be a good standard deck, you got to give this a chance, because this will... This is actually seems like a pretty legit deck, so if you're looking for a good investment for both modern and standard, keep it in mind. So we got the fabled 5-0. Anyway, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. So no Momir tonight. Hopefully Thursday we'll have some Momir. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We got a ton of follows. We got just 1,000 people watching. It was such an awesome stream, so thanks to all of you. Check out the replays in the meantime. We got Against the Odds with thousands of mana coming up tomorrow, so pick up a playmat if you want to support the stream. But huge thanks to all of you. It was a ton of fun. We'll be back Thursday at 6 for another one. Hopefully it's just as much fun. Hopefully we'll have time to get in some Momir on Thursday as well. So anyway, thanks everyone. It was a blast, and I will talk to you soon.